Hi, my name's Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and we're here to look at a new bow. This is an R162. Comes in two models, an A and a B. Right, so I'll throw up pictures of what A and a B look like. Now, first off, I'm going to talk about naming standards. As much as we love the Chinese, and we do love the Chinese, we love them for many reasons, and I'm not being sarcastic, naming is not one of their strengths. It's really not. I think that it gets lost in the translation between China and Australia. So China is very happy to use codes like R162 and R163 and to call their bows in ascending number order, right? Very happy. They're like, this is what we want, right? It makes sense because we can catalog them, we can put the numbers on the end of the boxes. What Americans want, and what us white people want, I'm not being racist, because we are really that dumb, we want a name like antelope, like cheetah, like leopard, like tiger, like name of a cat, name of a bird, name of name of something. Name of a shark, name of a fish. You know, Martin named all their bows after cats, right? So the Martin Jaguar, the Martin Panther, the Martin, I don't know what the Firecat was, but it was a naming standard. What the Chinese have missed out on is the naming standard. Because when this comes to an R162, I've already forgotten the name of it. I don't know if it's an R162 or an R163, and it comes in an A and a B, and I don't know if this is A or a B. Okay? But what this is a cool bow at a cool price. Right. So, limbs are on the back. This looks like a Black Widow. Okay? A Black Widow is an inspirational bow. They make so many a year, they're hard to source, you have to pay for it, and then wait for it to be made. Okay? And for that privilege, they will charge you a fortune. I'm not having to go at Black Widow. It's a fantastic bow. It looks awesome. And it's for someone who's into archery, who wants that bow of a lifetime. Because that's what it is. It's a once-in-a-lifetime bow. This is a bow to get you into the sport. Okay? A person getting into the sport is not going to buy a Black Widow. Someone getting into the sport may buy this. Now, the riser looks lovely. Limbs look nice. They're just a basic wood limb. Look, they're not sealed on the outside, which means they're going to be subject to moisture and heat and all that sort of stuff. So just be careful, right? Don't leave this bow strung in your car because that's just stupid. And I just don't want to deal with stupidity, right? So now the riser is curved this way for if you're shooting off the shelf, and it's curved this way because you're shooting off the shelf. That's a good thing. Now this is actually one of my staff's bows. I put a little bit of felt on here. The fact that one of my staff wants this as their own bow suggests it's probably pretty good. I have not shot this bow. I don't know what it feels like. But the fact that he wants this as his personal bow suggests that's pretty good. It's a 55-pound bow. I think it's 62 inches length, so perfect for hunting. His arrows that he's shooting are 340s with these big brass inserts. So these are a hunting arrow. He's made a custom string for it, which is a fast flight string. He's put these little puffy things on just to make it a little bit silent. He's put on a strapped quiver. Now I think I don't know which quiver this is. I don't know if this is the cheap quiver or the expensive quiver. And if it's the expensive quiver, I'm not having to go at you. I just, until they're there alongside of one another, I can't tell the difference, right? So I don't know if it's $200 quiver or the $90 quiver. I can't tell. But let's just draw it back. So it draws back. I'm back here at 29. It draws back very steady all the way through. So with the cheaper bows, they stack up at the back end. So you feel nothing and they just stacks up at the last second, and the bows tends to be quite slow. This is building all the way through. It's a very good draw cycle. As I said, these limbs are probably not. This is a cheaper bow, cheaper limbs. You cannot compare a cheap set of limbs to a $1,000 set of limbs. Can't. Like my bow's left outside, fully strung. I'm going to say all year. Limbs are fine, right? $1,000 limbs, right? These limbs you've got to be careful with because they're wood and it's exposed, right? but it's whole thing's like $200. I think it's 200. It might be 300. It's still substantially cheaper than a Black Widow. All right, so let's make the shot. Oh, that's... Did you hear it? No, you didn't, did you? It's so silent. There's no vibration at all. It's dead in the hand. It's, yeah, the Fast Flight string, which he's put on here, which is a Flemish twist string. Flemish twist is meant to be a little bit quieter. Fast Flight a little bit faster than that Dacron. So you're going to pick up 5 feet per second. Not that you'll probably notice 5 feet per second. But this is a very impressive small sight window, so you're not fitting a sight. This is traditional, so you're just pulling back and shooting. But look at the finish. Look, it's just the joins on the limbs are good. The limb bolt on the back, the front here, it's a nice bit of gear. Now, some people on your traditional archery groups I follow go, what do you think of a Samick Sage? I'm not having to go at Samick. Okay? It was a good bow at a good price 15 years ago. Right? It's still really, really cheap. I don't know how you make them for the price. Right? So I'm not having to go, it's a cheap bow. But this, you're now shooting a bow that feels like an expensive bow. You're shooting a bow that feels like $1,000 bow for $300. You know that these limbs are not as good as a $1,000 bow. You know these limbs are not as good as a Black Widow. You know that. But this is getting you into the sport. It's cool. And how much do you shoot? Do you shoot all the time? If you're going on an expensive hunt for black elk, for an elk, black elk. If you're going on a hunt for an expensive elk or an expensive deer, you're probably not going to take this. You're probably going to shoot with a Black Widow, right? Saying that, my staff member's like, I think I'm going to take this hunting because this is awesome. And he has expensive bows, right? So maybe you will. It's very, very nice. I love the two-piece quiver. I love the way it's all put together. The felts, the arrows are just feels amazing. The arrows are coming out dead straight. So 340 spine, 55 pounds, 340 spine with really heavy points. Like, look at that point. I'm going to say 200 odd grain points at the front end. Now, the reason why they shoot heavy points for trad is for better penetration. Okay? You're going to give up speed. So if I was going to use this for just shooting around a field course, I wouldn't use these arrows. I would shoot faster arrows, but if you're going to hunt, then you may shoot the heavier points. And a 2-blade broadhead. Anyway, that's the R162. I'm going to say there's no brands, which is a shame. I think whoever it is should put a brand on and brand their products and put a code calling this the Black Eagle or Black Hawk or Black Crow, or it looks good. It's a very nice made bow. You can see the laminations just there. Comes up. Limb tips. Now these limb tips are small, so little limb tips. So if you're using the bow stringer that goes over the end, you're going to have a problem because it's too small here for the cap, right? So you're going to have to probably use a limb to tip stringer, which puts a little bit more pressure on you to string it. But I think it's a absolutely brilliant bow. So, and for its price, hard to find anything better at this price point. I think that's one of the better bows. Now, wood grip versus aluminium grip. The wood grip is wider than aluminium grip. I personally like an aluminium grip, but this bow shoots amazing, and I should really buy myself one of those Black Widow bows, because they are a lovely, lovely bow, and they look brilliant just hung up. This would look beautiful hung up on the wall. That's why I want bows that look lovely to hang up on the wall. Anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.